This is your reminder. It's not about results. It's about habits. For 2025, I want you to have a plan. You wouldn't just go on a trip without a map, would you? You wouldn't just go on a trip and leave your phone. You need to know where you're going. You need to know where you're headed. And for 2025, I want you guys to have a roadmap so that you can have success and see results. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. If you're anything like me, then you have a lot of goals for 2025, specifically fitness goals. So I really wanted us to talk about the 5 ways or the 5 steps that we can really be intentional this year with our fitness journey. So this year, I know for me, I want to be a lot more intentional about really prioritizing and considering what fitness strategies work best for me, and that the goals that I making sure that they're actually going to help me progress in my fitness journey. So I have my notes over here. If you see me looking, that's what I'm doing. So whether you're looking to lose weight, whether you're looking to build muscle, whether you're trying to run that 5K that you've been talking about for years, we're really going to talk about the steps to get there in a purposeful way. And I want to make sure that we're also thinking about ways to make it attainable and that our goals are clear so that we can get there. So the first step, and I think this is just with any goal, the first step is always to ask yourself, why do I want to do this? Am I doing this for someone else, or am I doing this for me? So pick your fitness goal and then ask yourself why, and really get clear on your motivation. Motivation is kind of your driving force for wanting to do whatever the goal is. So like if I want to run a 5K, what is my motivation behind that? Is it to get fit? Is it to get stronger? Is it to say to everybody, I ran a 5K? Whatever it is, the motivation is your driving force behind it. The discipline is what's going to actually help you to achieve it, but more on that later. Whatever it is, being intentional about your why is important because you really want to make sure that you're working towards a goal that is meaningful for you. Step 2 is making it SMART. Whatever our goal is, we want to make sure that it helps us achieve our purpose. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. We want to make sure, first of all, that our goal is specific. We want to get clear on what it is we actually want to achieve. Measurable, when we're talking about measurable, we're thinking, how can I measure this goal to know that I'm making progress? 3 is achievable. How can I achieve this goal? Is it realistic? When you're thinking about achievable goals, I want you to think about 2. Am I, in terms of fitness, am I a beginner? Did I just start off in fitness, or am I a vet? Have I been putting the work in, exercising regularly, and all that good stuff? Because the goals that you're making should really align with where you are so that they can get you to where you want to be. 4 is relevant. Why is this goal relevant to you? Why is it important to you? And then the 5th part is timely. How long is it going to take you to realistically achieve this goal? So we're going to dive into it. I want you to think about this sentence. I want to get fitter. I want to be fit. That is an awesome goal, especially if you're starting out in your fitness journey, but we want to get more specific and we want to make it SMART. So let's think about specific. Okay, I want to run 5 miles. Great. We're going to think about making sure that it's achievable and that it's timely. I want to run 5 miles without stopping by March 1st. So you're giving yourself a whole lot of time to make sure that you achieve that goal. So it is specific, it is measurable, it is achievable, it's relevant, and it's timely. So it gets way more to the heart of what you want to do and how you're going to do. And speaking of how we're going to do it, step 3 is really breaking it down. We want to think about, great, We have our goal, but how are we going to execute it? Okay. So you wouldn't drive all across the country without a map. We'd make sure that we have our phone and that we have MapQuest, or not MapQuest. That's old. I'm dating myself, but we're going to make sure that we have Apple Maps or Google Maps to know how we get there. Our fitness journey is the same way. We're going to break down our big goal that we just made, our big SMART goal, into achievable steps that will get us there. So I like to call them smaller bite-sized milestones. So if your goal is to run 3 miles by March, maybe your first milestone is running 1 mile without stopping. Okay. Or, running 2 miles, but I might have 1 break in between. So we're breaking that big goal of running 5 miles down into smaller, measurable, smaller bites. And then what you do is, as you achieve that, I've ran a mile and I didn't stop. Now I'm going to add a half mile on there. So I'm going to run 1.5 miles without stopping. And I think the one thing I forgot to put on the end of that is, as you're breaking these chunks down, the time frame may be a little shorter. So I want to run 1 mile without stopping by the end of January. So you're giving yourself a good amount of time to achieve it, but still enough time to make progress so that you can run the whole 5 miles or meet your whole goal by March or whenever your time limit is. And I want you to celebrate along the way. A lot of times we get so focused on the big celebrations, like I ran that 5K, or, I actually am able to lift 50 pounds, instead of saying, what? I actually did a workout and I lifted 10 pounds and it was great. Or I lifted 5 pounds and it was great. Really just taking that time to celebrate the little things, because that's what's going to get you through your fitness journey. It's not always the big milestones. Those things take time. And if you're just waiting on the big milestones, you're going to be pretty unmotivated. It's going to be hard for you to stay motivated in this. So as you're breaking it down, you want to make sure that you are celebrating along the way. The 4th step is to stay flexible. This is not a rigid, timeline or rigid goals to where it's like, I can't be flexible. Life happens. You get sick. Maybe work is crazy. You need to give yourself grace. And so it's good to set goals, but we want to make them realistic, and we want to give ourselves the flexibility if things go crazy. If you miss a workout, get back on it the next day. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. A lot of times we get discouraged if we miss workouts, and we get discouraged if we're not able to meet those little milestones in our plan. And we have to understand that those things happen, but it's really just about what you do after. That's what matters, how you get back on track, basically. And I really want you to remember that progress isn't a straight line. Sometimes we think if I just do this and set this goal, I'm always going to be able to execute, I'm going to be able to execute it. I'm going to be able to do it. And we don't realize that progress isn't always a straight line. Sometimes it's a squiggly line. We have stops, we have starts, and we have to be flexible with ourselves along the way. That's what's going to keep you going on your fitness journey. And that's what's going to help you to see results. And then the 5th step is focus on habits, not results. A lot of times, like I said, we're so focused on seeing results, seeing the scale go down, seeing our waistline get snatched, and we don't realize that it's really about the habits that I'm doing along the way. Hitting a target feels amazing, but it is better to really create a lifestyle that you can sustain. What is better? Which sounds better to you? Being able to run 5 miles every day, or being able to run a good 1 mile every day. Sometimes that 5 miles is not sustainable every day, and that's okay, but that 1 mile is. Sometimes lifting 60 pounds every day is not realistic, but lifting 10 pounds a day is, or lifting 5 pounds a day is. And I think we just have to get to the core of what is really realistic. What is really realistic? What can we actually really achieve? So it's just important to really think. I want to give you another example. If you're aiming to lose 10 pounds, focus on the daily habits that are going to get you there. If I'm trying to lose 10 pounds, these are the things I can do to help me get there. These are the habits I can create every day to help me get there. I can meal prep. I can make sure that I'm exercising 3 to 5 days a week. I can make sure that I'm getting some steps in. Those are the things that we can do. And even if I can't do a structured exercise every day, I can go out there and walk. And I really also want people not to discount or I don't want you to discount walking. Walking is, especially when you're getting started, is so important to get you there, to change your body's composition, to help your body to learn how to move, especially when you're getting started. And that's why I do a lot of walking workouts, because I think it's a great way for beginners and just exercisers, in general, to keep that consistent movement going. So small habits make big changes. It's not always about the results. A lot of times it's about the journey, the things you do along the way to help you get there. So finally, no matter how big or how small your progress is, I want you to celebrate it, okay? If there's anything you get out of this video, I want you to know that your little successes, those things that seem so little, are important and should be celebrated. And that's what's going to take you through, okay? Whether it's making yourself a healthy smoothie after a good week of workouts, that's a great celebration. Or saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do an exercise that wasn't on my plan that I've been looking forward to doing. That's a way to celebrate your win. Or saying, I'm going to have a cheat meal. We need rest days. We need balance. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about building those habits and trying your best. There is a scripture in the Bible that talks about pressing towards the mark. It's something that we can apply to our lives. We don't need to seek perfection. We just need to try and press towards that target, towards that mark every day. So I want to leave you with that thought for today. I want you guys to let me know, what are your fitness goals for the new year? What things are you changing to make sure that you're creating these wonderful habits in your daily routine? Okay, I'd love to hear from you. Please go ahead. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love doing these videos for you guys. I like knowing that I'm helping and making a difference. And when y'all let me know that just makes my heart so big. I'm so thankful. I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that you're encouraged, and I hope that you have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.